It's just because I don't like the same games as them. What's up, guys? Acerthorn here, and I'm making another Jim Sterling response video. No! But this time there's a twist in the tale, because this time I actually agree with him. And yes, I'm using him, he, him pronouns to refer to Jim Sterling for reasons I've already discussed. You can check out that video for more details if you want. Anyway, let me point this out. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. As many of you are probably no doubt aware, I spent the past few years having to deal with constant harassment from a handful of exceptionally passionate and exceptionally persistent trolls. Basically, I don't like some games that a lot of other people like Dark Souls or Fallout New Vegas, and I've made a few videos expressing my reasons why I don't like these games. Some people just cannot stand that. So they often go through my videos, playing literally every single second of them on stream, well outside the bounds of fair use, to pick apart everything, to take everything I say often out of context, to twist everything I say and try to just pass it off like I'm not just giving my opinions, I'm stating cast iron objective facts, and facts that are simply wrong at that. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, as of the time of this recording, it is May 1st, 2023, and I just got finished watching Jim Sterling's latest Jimquisition video, The Game Reviewer Who Hates Games. I was especially taken aback by his statements from the timestamps of 13 minutes 29 seconds until 14 minutes 38 seconds. I want you to listen to this clip and tell me it doesn't describe some of my most prolific haters to a T.
This is why you see so many of these people demand the reviews be objective, despite the idea being a ludicrous fucking notion to anybody who understands how personal opinions work. I very famously parodied the concept of the objective review, but I've never really sat and talked about what they're really asking for. They don't demand objective reviews because they actually want objectivity in the purest sense of the word. It's because they truly, deep down, believe that their opinions really are facts. I used to say that these people just want game reviews to agree with them, but the more I think about it, the more I realise that isn't quite what's going on. They don't want reviews to agree with them. Oh no. They want game reviews to agree with their reality. None of them ever explain exactly what they mean when they say a review needs to be more objective or more fair, and it's because from their point of view, they don't need to. They start from the position that the quality of a video game is already an evidenced, provable, scientifically immutable fact, and they work from there.
Oh gee, I wonder where I've heard that before. In fact, Jim Sterling is only just now figuring this out, but for me, I've known this for quite some time, mostly because my most prolific haters have outright admitted as much. To them, they don't see this as simply a disagreement on opinions. They simply see it as me just getting facts wrong. And they've even admitted to as much. But yet, whenever they give examples, it's almost always things that are grounded in opinion. Like, for instance, there's too much brown in Fallout New Vegas' graphics. They act like that's just a cast iron objective fact that the game just needs to be majority brown. They also are another example that the brain in the Old World Blues DLC doesn't actually conflict with the player's agency, with the ludonarrative dissonance. That's I explained exactly why it conflicted with it, why I felt it conflicted with it, but because that requires because accepting that requires that they accept that I have a different opinion of the game than they do, they just treat it like I just made it all up. And they outright admit that they consider their counter takes, their rebuttal takes on this game to just be cast iron objective fact, and therefore that I am just objectively wrong about it. So, Sterling is only just now figuring this out. I've known this for quite a while. Oh, but it gets even better. Go back, when you go and watch his Jinquisition video, there's another clip at timestamp 11 minutes 18 seconds through 11 minutes and 23 seconds. It's a 5-second clip. I want you to listen to this and tell me it doesn't sound almost word for word exactly like something I've been saying for years.
Maybe the reviewer just didn't like the same computer game as them.
Oh my god! It is so refreshing to finally hear it come from somebody else's lips other than my own. This is exactly what I've been saying since forever. I have pointed out in the comments numerous times, and I've even said it a few times in my videos. It's the only reason I get as much hate as I do is because, and it's just because, I don't like the same games as they do. It has nothing to do with objective facts. It has everything to do with me not agreeing with their opinions, and in their warped and deranged minds, they consider their opinions to be cast iron objective facts. Oh. This is, and the fact that he worded it almost verbatim the same way I word it, just goes to show that just goes to show just how by the numbers these haters are. They're all the same. They're all cut from the same cloth. They know what they don't know what they're doing. I was about to say that. That's just it. They genuinely think that they're just pointing out factual inaccuracies. Well, but that's just. But the thing is, they all have not just a warped view of reality, but the exact same warped view of reality. And that's kind of a scary thing to think, if you think about it. I mean, if there were, let's say, 10 people in a room, and they were all drunk off their ass, and they all claimed to see a pink elephant in the room, and they all you who were sober, you all asked them, "Where's the pink elephant?" And then they all pointed at the exact same direction where there was clearly no pink elephant, and they all said that the pink elephant was exactly 5'6", and that and they all unanimously agreed that it was doing the same thing. If they all had literally the exact same hallucination down to the exact minute detail, that would be kind of scary, wouldn't it? You'd start to wonder if it's actually a hallucination at all, and that maybe the elephant really is there, and that you're just the only one who can't see it. Maybe you're the one who's hallucinating because you don't see the elephant at that point. But here, these deranged haters, they all seem to not only have the same delusion about their opinions on games, they all have the exact same delusion, which is, frankly, fucking terrifying. Now that being said, I do gotta call out Jim Sterling on at least one thing. I mean, the things that we tend to agree with are few and far between, so treasure it while it lasted, but at this point I've gotta stop agreeing with the guy. At timestamp 1727 through 1743, he actually said something that he kind of exposed himself as a hypocrite, but I think he is just as oblivious to his own hypocrisy as our haters are to the fact that they are just disagreeing about subjective opinions. Let's play this clip, and it's gonna sting.
They're not just invalidating an opinion they don't like, they're invalidating the very presence of a person in their space. It's a very clear form of othering, essentially saying they're not one of us, and excluding them to such a degree they don't ever have to be listened to.
Honestly, Jim, this sounds an awful lot like what you do to anyone who doesn't agree 100% with your political views. And it's also the same thing for many other of your fellow far-left extremists, if you think about it. I mean, just as one example, and this is only just one that I've directly seen you do, your sudden, almost like a light switch, sudden hatred of FNAF creator Scott Hawthorne. You had previously held up Hawthorne as a stand-up guy who took criticism on the nose, used it to improve his games, and he was just an all-around just lovable guy. But as soon as he spoke out publicly against abortion, Sterling, you immediately turned on him, and in your video of the man who loved an abortion ban, you just started calling him every vile insult you could possibly think of. I mean, this is a common practice that the extremists of both sides of the political spectrum employ on a regular basis. For those who don't already know, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. I'm a centrist and I'm an independent. I consider myself a purple voter because I'm halfway between Democrat and Republican. And as you probably might have guessed, one of the things that I'm conservative on is that people shouldn't be forced to use pronouns that other people want them to use that they aren't comfortable using. But aside from that, anyway, basically, far left or far right extremists like Jim Sterling, to them, anyone who doesn't agree with 100% of their political opinions 100% of the time is instead such a radical that they aren't worth even listening to at all. There is no in-between. These people are often completely oblivious to the fact that they are the real delusional extremists if they apply this logic to literally anyone and everyone who doesn't agree with their political views in all cases. The fact that you have this all-or-nothing mindset when it comes to politics, you're either 100% behind the left or right agendas 100% of the time, or you're the other extreme. There is no in-between, and that is itself a delusional and extremist viewpoint. And it's something that Sterling seems completely lacking in self-awareness of, though to be fair, that's also the case for quite a few other far left and far right extremists. Jim Sterling is by far not the only one. So to wrap this up, it's basically what I've been saying for years now. If you don't like my opinions on games, you don't have to watch my videos. But if you genuinely believe, if you genuinely and sincerely believe in your heart of hearts that your opinions on games are objective fact, and therefore that anyone who disagrees with you is objectively wrong, well then, you are downright delusional. You are downright deranged. You have completely disconnected from reality, and you need to be in an asylum, locked up in a straitjacket, because you are a danger to yourself and to others. And with that little nugget of wisdom, I bid you all adieu. Acerthorn out. Peace.